How's it going, Andrew?
Happy New Year to you, Matt. How you doing?
Here.
I can see your bee behind you. So,
Oh,
hey,
he's
did you get the little one fed? Did he get fed? What did he have to eat?
oh, he had some pizza. We were
I'm gonna grill some chicken. I'm gonna grill some chicken later on this afternoon. Weather's really good here, Matt.
it's it's warm here, unusually warm, but it's super wet and misty, and it's my least favorite kind of weather.
Cold in the morning. I took the dog. I got a couple of dogs, and I walk them in the morning, and it was like probably five. Sorry, yeah, 5, 6 degrees. I'm talking Celsius. Let me talk. Yeah, about 30, 38, 38, 39, and we're currently at about 65.
I got you. Hey, happy New Year, Car Mob. I got a Mustang guy just popped in.
Yeah,
One of my other.
yeah, no problem, no problem.
We got a very diverse community here in this on this channel.
You gotta open up an F-150 channel because I have got my
Oh,
F-150. Well, I love
I
my
don't know if I got a bad. Like my Wi-Fi is cutting in and out.
Hey Matt,
Oh, another.
can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move somewhere where the signal's better. I was just trying to be able to have a seat, but it might not work out that way.
I was going to say I've got a very old F-150 that I love. I'd never get rid of. It's a stick shift 2000 F-150, and I love my truck.
I used to have a when I lived in an apartment, I had a 1990 F-150 302, and it was a stick shift. I loved the truck, and I bought it from a pastor who told me, "Oh, it's all good," And I went for a test drive, and it seemed fine. And I'd like to think that the synchros went out as soon as I bought it, and not that the pastor lied to me. But it kind of looks like the pastor kind of led me astray. But that's all right. Well, I lost my butt in that truck. If I had had a house, I would have kept it because it only had 52,000 miles on it. But
So mine was a 2000, Matt. It's a XL 4.2, 6 liter 4.2, single cab stick shift. I got it at 70,000 miles for my son. I think we paid around five grand for it. And now I've got 200, and I've just done the emissions. So early in the week, I went to take it for the emissions check for 2-year tags, and the 207, 206,000 it's got on it, and I've had one new clutch. We've done the bearings and the brakes, and that's it. Great truck.
yeah, I need a truck. I don't have one. I used that F-150 was my last one, and now I've got a Grand Marquis Mercury for a daily, and I got the MG and the Boss. My wife has a Ford Edge, and I don't know why my like comments are jumping all. I'm trying to respond to some of these comments.
Yeah,
What's up, boss? What's up, boss man? My comments are jumping all over the place, so I'm trying to respond, and it's not letting me do this. I'm gonna refresh my screen. I might get booted off here for a second. I'll pop right back in.
Okay.
Oh, all right. That's better. It's working now.
So I have been working on my B.
Oh yeah. What you been up to?
I don't know whether you can see. Well, okay? I've got to put it there.
Okay, yeah. I still got to do that too. Mine has a rupture because when I installed the motor mount on the driver's side, and it's a pain. and I had to disconnect the steering, and I wasn't very careful with the first one, and so I accidentally ruptured it, and I got to replace that too.
So, Matt, I think I did the same thing. That's a new one, right?
Yeah.
But what I did, and I got the special tool that David recommended, which is really good. But you've got to line that tool up right dead center on that pin, because
Yeah.
what I've done is I've ruptured the thread, and then my nut won't won't go onto the thread.
Oh boy.
So I've got a new one on the passenger side, and
Yeah.
the beauty was I did the boots, so I put all new boots in. I re-oiled it. This was yesterday.
Okay.
And then my alignment, I knew my alignment. Look, I got to go and get my alignment properly done, because I can't do it myself.
Yeah.
So I put the old one back on. I've ordered 2 new ones of these because on Moss, I think they were $21 with a $10 shipment. And I thought, when I take it into the alignment, I'll get the guy just to put 2 new ones in. It's easier because I'm going to have to do the alignment.
Well, I went to, yeah, Car Mob. Yeah, Andy has an MG. Yes, somebody. I'm replying to some of the comments. Yeah, he has an MG. What year's your MG?
So my 77.
77. Okay.
And I've had it. I've had it since Thanksgiving. So
okay.
So I saved up last year. Paid cash for it. It was up for like 5.8, and I got it for 4.8. And I'll send you some photos. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I want to see what yours is compared to mine, because mine was the $500 special. Matter of fact, there's a parts car near me that I could get for $500 if I wanted to.
I'm just wondering how I switch my camera around so I can show you my vehicle.
Oh, I don't know. Are you on your phone?
No, I'm on my iPad.
Ah.
Let me go out and I'll just reverse it, and you can just take a look at it, because you probably think he's bullshit and he hasn't got an MG, but I have. And, so let me take you outside. I'm going to wind the garage up so we get some light.
Oh yeah, it was a Highland green.
So it's Brooklands green.
Okay.
And I got my plate. I think I got my plates on the back. I just got my plates on the back. And Matt, I've done all the electrics on it. I've been working on the last couple of days, done all the electrics.
Okay.
I did the I've done the transmission oil switch. That took me about an hour. Put it up on the ramps.
Yep.
So, yeah. And there's my truck. Very old.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, it's not that old though. Don't make me feel like I'm old. Hey, so check this out. So this is.
And then I got my car there. Anyway, go on.
Here's a sneak peek to. Here's a sneak peek to a future episode that I'm going to release, the next one. But I had these made for the car, and I posted some pictures that some people might have noticed. But these are my custom emblems.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I kind of talk about why it's named this, because nobody freaking knows, but it's really because of this little guy right here. They said I said, what's the car's name? And he just said Bobby. And so it's a MGB, so it's Bobby B. That's as cut and dry as it is.
So it's not a family member. I thought it might be a family member. So
no, it's because the kids named it Bobby, so it's Bobby B.
That's good. I haven't named mine, so maybe we got to give it a name. But anyway, yeah, I
got a lot of projects this year on the car. So I still have to do the passenger floor pan. I got to do passenger floor pan. On the driver's side, one thing I haven't really shown a lot, because I know some people freak out, is whoever had it upgraded to the modern suspension, and they put the strut kit in there, instead of the old. I don't know what it is. If it's like a gas or it's not gas. The old kind of old school suspension. They got rid of that. They put the strut kit in the previous owner, and there's like a kit from Moss that like bolts into the lower control arm, and the bolt for the strut goes straight into that, and it rusted out. And so I kind of have my strut just sitting there. So I'm just kind of sitting on my spring, but I haven't been like driving around like crazy, so I wasn't really too worried about it right now. But I got the stuff I need to fix it. I just got to weld a new nut cut the old nut off the bracket, weld a new one on, and should be good to go. I got to also got to pull off the bolt on the other side so I can have like Fastenal identically replicate it. And then the other thing I still need to do is put my windscreen, the weather stripping at the bottom. I gave up on that because I never drive in the rain, and I tried it like 5 times. And maybe I can meet up with somebody local who has one. It might be able to help me out. But yeah, that's something I'm trying to do. And then down the road for me, probably about 10 minutes, there's an MGB GT I still want to go take a look at just to kind of see if the owner is willing to show it to me, because I don't know much about those. Matter of fact, I don't know much about MGs in general still. I'm still learning a lot. But that's where that goes. And then, yeah, there's a ton of stuff. There's numerous projects left on this car. But the one thing I'm not going to do, I think I'm going to leave the paint the way it is, so that way it's 47-year-old paint, and it's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still in decent shape. But yeah, so that's where that's going.
And I like the you've got that front guard, that what do you call it? The front fender piece you're gonna put on, or
are you talking about the brush guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got that brush guard, and I need to go to Lowe's and see if I can get some metal to custom fab some brackets in there and see if I can bolt it in. What's up, Charles? Hey, Carmob, I don't know if you're still here, but the guy who just popped in, Charles, he's got a gnarly MGB. It's got like 500 horsepower. It's insane.
Is that one of the guys that joined you? Is he the young guy that's got the MGB?
No. That was Mason. He's got the MGB.
Yeah, Mason. He was a cool guy, and he's got what's he got, Matt?
He's got the rotary GT, and he's actually turned some other videos. He's got some interesting stuff. I guess he's a glass turner as well, like the melted glass turner artist thing.
Oh,
and
okay.
That was pretty neat. I watched one of his videos. He's only got a couple subscribers, but I was checking him out. But yeah, so yeah, Charles, he's got a gnarly GT. He's got a video up too where you can hear it idling, and you can tell it's just it's a monster. One day, that's what I want to do. I definitely want to put a V8 in mine and do some side pipes, but we'll see. Hey, Randy, what's going on, man? If anybody wants to join, let me see if I can post this thing. There we go.
So have you spoken to David at all?
Yeah, he said he wanted to do these again. I thought maybe he'd pop in, but I haven't seen anybody. So I was hoping he might pop in today, but we'll see. Hey, what's up, Northern Mustangs? So we got like I was saying earlier, we got a really diverse crowd here. We got the Brits and the Americans here. So it's actually, but Andy's American.
Well, I'm in
Arizona, right?
Yeah, you said you'd got some family in Phoenix, correct?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Are they in Scottsdale? I mean, not without giving away their address, are they in like Tempe, Scottsdale?
I don't know that actually.
Okay.
I just know they live out in Arizona, in Phoenix area, I think. And he's actually my uncle who lives there. Back when the movie Gone in 60 Seconds came out, the second one with Nicolas Cage, he had a contract with a guy, and he was rebuilding 5 of the Eleanor chassis Mustangs. And then he kind of got screwed by his business partner, so they only made one. And I don't know if they even made back all the money they spent building that thing, but that was a Resta mod they did before the gosh, I don't remember when it came out, but it was before the new 5.0 liter Mustang came out.
So Matt, tell me about your Mustang, because I don't know a lot. You know, obviously I'm focused on your
Yeah, yeah. So
Bobby
give me a
B.
second. You're gonna sit in here? Yeah. Okay. There you go. You can drive. Yeah, you're in the box. Or you're in the MG. Put the little man in the car. Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a bus through too. Initially, before this car, I had an '05 GT. I had done full bolt-ons to it, full bolt-on modifications. The only thing I hadn't done left was the cams. My cams, I was going to do that. I had plans to because it was a 3-valve Mustang. And what they're known for, since you're not familiar with Mustangs, is they got a great – no, buddy, please don't do that. They've got a great sound, but they're just not a lot of power, but they sound amazing. I wish I still had it because it sounds amazing. But let's see. What's going on, my friend said? I'll be on for a little bit, Randy. I'm not sure how long. I still got some work to do at home, but it's yeah, I'm not sure how long. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll try to still be on. But so I had an '05 GT Mustang. I was going to cam it, and they sound incredible. And then instead, I was driving by the lot one day. I was looking at GT 500s. I really wanted one, and I was going to go look at them that day. And I went to a Cars and Coffee with my GT, and it and enrolled like 8 GT 500s one after another. And I went to the lot to look at this GT 500 I was going to look at, and right next to it was a Boss. And I was like, you know what? I never see those, and I kind of wanted something a little more rare. And it's less power, but it's kind of hard to describe. So like this car it's very raw feeling. It's the last Mustang. I think it's the highest horsepower, naturally aspirated.
So how much horsepower?
So stock it's 444, but it's like I think it's the highest naturally aspirated solid rear axle Mustang they made. After this, when they went to the next body style, they upgraded to independent rear suspension, and it is an upgrade. So this one it's a different feel from the modern ones, and I love them both. Like the new S550s, Car Mob, the guy on here, he's got a wicked convertible. It's supercharged. What I don't know what year is your car Mob? Is it 18 or 19? He might pop in here in a second.
So you've got a 302 block in there, or?
Yeah, it's a 302. Here, I'll pop the hood here in a second. Try not to drop my computer.
And Matt, V8 and it's rear wheel drive, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, but V8.
It's a little dirty right now. That's okay. But she's it's not a show car. I still drive it around. It's got 62,000 miles now, I think. But I try to keep it pretty clean. But it's nice. And I'm doing a giveaway, so kind of like the Mustang, the shift knob giveaway I'm doing.
You're doing
a Mustang
straps that go across the top, correct?
Yeah, that's a strut. That's the strut tower, so kind of keeps it rigid. Yeah, okay. So Car Mob has a 19 convertible supercharged, but similar to the MG giveaway I'm doing for like the shift knobs. I'm doing a strut cover giveaway for the Mustang guys, and this is a custom one I had done. Gosh, man, the light's just terrible. Find a better angle. This is a custom one I had made for me, and I'm gonna get one made for a Mustang guy who wins whenever I get to 500. But who knows when that'll be? It might be a little bit, but that's fine.
They look really cool.
Oh yeah, I love them. It's a buddy of mine. Any Mustang guys around here, CustomPony1.com. He's got some great stuff, and this is actually like his second generation. He's up to like generation like 8 now, and they're way nicer than this. I'll say that they're way cleaner. This is just one of the first ones he did for me because I guess he's technically my sponsor. That's what he says, but
right.
we got a good little relationship going.
As long as he pays you lots of money, that's good.
Well, I don't get paid, but this was I threw some business his way, and this one was a complimentary set for me. I bought my first set, and then we've just been friends, and I try and help him out when I can.
And Matt, there's 4 of those, correct? There's 4 of those on the top of the engine.
No, there's only
Two.
two. So there's
Okay.
two in the front, and then the back you don't see the struts back there.
Oh, okay.
But the Boss, it came with adjustable suspension, so you can just kind of tweak it and stiffen it up or lighten it up. So I could, if
Right.
I wanted to take it drag racing, I could soften up the rears. There's a bunch of stuff I could do.
Right.
But let's see. I got to catch up on some of these comments. I've been neglecting these people here. Give me a second. Northern Mustang. Okay, what's up, Northern Mustang? USCA. I don't know what USCA is. Oh, yeah, Northern Mustang. So when I get to 500, I'm going to do a video where I'm giving away a strut cover set. And if you go to custompony1.com, you can kind of see what they are. I'm going to wait until the winner is picked because he can do S550 or S197s. And so I don't want to make one and have it ready and it be the wrong type of car. So whoever wins will tell me what they have, what they want, if they want GT on it, if they want Boss 302, if they want GT 500, and we can get something made for them, and you'll get it sent out to you. But it'll be nicer than this. This is like his second generation, and there's way nicer ones than this now. And then I'm doing the same thing for the MG guys, except I'm giving away the shift knob, which we're going to custom make that at the time of, because I learned the hard way that depending on your year, there's 3 different threads patterns. You can go down to it's like a 5/16, and there's a 3/8, and then there's a 7/16. And so I learned the hard way making those things. So I want to make sure that I do it right. So that way, for each one, we make it for the winner rather than make it and hope the winner has that car.
Hey, okay. Matt, I've been watching some of your father's YouTube videos, and they're really cool.
Oh yeah,
I watched him do the chest, like the chest. He did the cutting board.
Oh yeah, he blasted out. He blasted out like 30 of those together. He makes them pretty quick.
And it's really good how he edits, because he he jumps ahead and he's good. He's definitely pretty good at editing. Yeah.
He's getting there. I mean, we're both rookies. We both kind of say we want to improve a little bit. Like I would like to improve my filmography a little bit, but I'm not going to invest a ton in technology. Just it's just for fun. And so if we got a little more serious, I'd spend a little more on the technology. But there's things I could do like on stuff I have right now to kind of clean up a little bit, or maybe make it a little more viewer friendly. And so I'm working on it. My wife got me it's not much. It's a cell phone gimbal. And I think I can use it with my GoPro. I'm not sure, but we'll see. It might clean up some of the video a little bit. And then I'm going to play with my editing software a little more and see if there's a little more panache I can bring to the videos, but we'll see.
Not that I know a lot about the videos, but you've got to grab people's attention and keep it pretty short and sweet and to the point. I do like David's, sort of 10, 15-minute videos. I know he's got stuff out there for an hour where he pulls out the transmission and the engine. And
yeah,
I mean, you can sort of rip through that. But I like stuff that's like 10 to 15 minutes in duration as a viewer.
Yeah, if I could, it all kind of changes. I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. Like right now, I haven't been doing a lot, and it's not on purpose. I've actually got real bad tendonitis right now, and it's so bad to the point where I can like if I'm holding my phone funny, like out like this, it's really pulling on my tendons. So I haven't been. The only thing I could do, like one of my next big projects is to do the diff fluid, and that I need to do it because that fluid's 32, 33 years old probably, and I don't want to put all that strain only on my left arm. So my left arm has tendonitis too. It's just not as bad. And I've been getting treatment, but I just don't want to get down there and I might have tore something in my right arm. I might be in some serious trouble. So hopefully not, because I don't want to stop working out here.
How did you do that? Did you do that? How did you do that?
I don't know how to. So when I go to the gym and I lift weights, I don't know how to take it easy.
Right.
I probably should, or stretch. Maybe it's stretching, combination of all of it, but. I usually lift pretty heavy, and I probably pay for it. I keep thinking I'm 22. I'm not 22 anymore, and everything's catching up to me a little faster. Like the cold weather temperature drops here. So we're at 70 degrees, or we were 68. But when we drop down to like 20, I feel every hockey injury I ever had. So I played ice hockey, and I tore my shoulder, I damaged my knee, and it all just radiates like crazy. And I'm only 31 years old, but everything hurts.
Wow. Yeah, so you're the same age as my eldest. I got two boys, and one lives out in Brooklyn. The other is actually really mechanical. He works for Valley Metro. He's on the rapid and transit buses. So he knows a lot about the British buses. Just loves anything mechanical.
I gotcha.
Which is nice. So he helps me, and I FaceTime him.
Bob.
It's like I can't even set up a torque wrench, and I'm like FaceTiming him. He's helping me set up a torque wrench and stuff.
I'm still learning a lot. So like going back to the boss, I didn't kind of finish going over it, right? I bought the car and I was a very uninformed buyer. I thought, because I was uninformed, I thought, oh, it's got a special tune and it's got a cool intake that gives it a little more power. And there's a lot more to it than that. They forged the internals. It had quad exhaust, so I've got side pipes and rear exhaust. I didn't know that until I got the car home and I was starting it and I was like, why does it look like my exhaust is leaking? Like it looked like it was coming out the sides. I was like, it looks like I have a huge exhaust leak. What the heck's going on? And then I look under it and I'm like, holy crap, that's awesome. I didn't know it was there. I just didn't know anything about the car until I'd already bought it. And actually, the funny thing is, I paid for it already, or I'd already signed my name on the papers. And the dealership's like, hey, here's your key and here's your track key. I'm like, track key? They're like, yeah, you didn't know it has a track key? I'm like, no, nobody told me it had that. And I guess it was the first car that came out with the track key. And it was neat because it kicks on a choppy idle. It changes like 200 engine parameters and gives you a lot more low end torque, throws more fuel at the engine, and it allows engine braking. So if you're on the track, you don't have to wear out your brake pads as much, but you are putting a little more strain on your motor. And right. Northern Mustangs asked how many miles were on the boss. So there was, I want to say 39 or 40 when I got it, and I'm up to 62. I had been putting about 5,000 to 7,000 a year on it, going to various shows, and I do pretty long trips periodically with it. But it's my fun weekend driver. But I'm up to 62 this year. I only put I think 1,500 on it because everything was canceled. Like everything I had planned is just gone. So it's been. I take it out when it was nice, and I also been working on the MG, so that's kind of stole a few hours since I just got it running, and I'm trying to enjoy it a little bit. Yep, but it's I got some stuff I want to do to that. I think I might switch out my axle back exhaust. I'm not sure yet. I broke the hangers. I still haven't fixed them. I need to fix them, and I also want to do. I definitely want to do headers, and I've been waiting for headers to tune it. I don't want to tune it till I do headers, because I actually know a guy in Virginia Beach who has one, and there's a company, you probably won't know this, Andy, but some of these guys will. There's a company called JLT, and they make a lot of Mustang parts, intakes specifically. And there's a guy I know in Virginia Beach, and he took his car. JLT is based out of Virginia Beach, and he took his car to JLT. They were testing the new intake on his car, and they brought his car to their tuner who they do their test work with, and he got his car to JLT with just a tuner and a tune, headers, and an intake. He got it to 455 rear wheel horsepower in his boss, and for that car, it's a lot. It means his motor is putting out well over 500 with just the tune and the tune headers and the intake.
Matt, how many valves on that specific engine?
So it's a 4-valve motor, so 32.
32. Wow.
But it's high revving. It revs up to 7,500. If I tune it, if I tune it and I change my oil pump gears. So the weak part of that motor is the oil pump gears. They're known to fail. And if I tune it, I know a lot of my buddies who've done it, and they got theirs up to 8,200 RPM. and it's just it screams. I don't know if I'd go that high. I might go to 8,000, but I
So
know some
what's the red line? What's the red line on that, Matt? 7.5 or
7.5 right now.
7.5? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going all the way to Michigan Car Mob. We'll see. I have so just to even take like local. So a lot of guys here know I'm in the Navy. Just to take local leave, I have to get O6 approval. So it's really a pain in the butt for me to go anywhere. So that's why I've kind of been stuck.
So Matt, are you land-based Navy or are you out on a ship?
I'm on shore duty right now. The Navy wanted me to go to sea again. They wanted me to do 4 sea tours in a row, and I said no thanks. Go ahead.
What ship have you been attached to? I mean, what?
I've been on the USS Gravely. It was a destroyer. I was the assistant weapons officer, and then I was attached to Destroyer Squadron 22, where I was the anti-submarine warfare officer. And basically, I planned the without going too much into it, I hunted
Yeah.
Russian submarines.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
Matt, when I was out in Dubai in Jebel Ali, the two carrier groups used to come in, and I was fortunate enough to go on the Abraham Lincoln and the Kitty Hawk. And in fact, the Kitty Hawk was right next door to my location. I mean, it was pretty cool. Pre 9/11, you could virtually walk up to the security group and virtually go on the flight deck.
Yeah,
It was very cool.
yeah, it's yeah. I guess I take for granted like all the things I get to see while I'm in, and like I get my dad on base, and he's like a kid in a candy store. Like we did a family day cruise, and we were just driving from one port to another right off the coast of Virginia, and you would have thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and it was the most boring sea duty ever. But he was tickled to death. We set up like little displays for the parents or the families to kind of learn a little bit. But it's all generic knowledge. We don't go into specifics really.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I love anything military. I follow a lot of. So, for example, on YouTube, I follow Aircrew Interview. If you
Yeah,
make a note of him, he's really cool, and he interviews a lot of US and RAF pilots.
yeah,
Very, very interesting stuff. Red Flag, for example, which is down at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. I think it's south of Vegas, or pretty close to Vegas. That's where they train globally all the fighter pilots, air to air and air to ground. And it's a very cool channel. Anyway,
I watched. Actually, there's a channel. I don't know what channel it was. There was a video that got suggested to me that I watched, and it was awesome. It was a World War II veteran and a Afghanistan war veteran interviewing each other and kind of talking about their two difference in eras, right? And it was very fascinating because the World War II vet said, "I could never fight in this modern generation. It terrifies me." And the Afghanistan veteran said the exact same thing to him. Like, I couldn't fight in your generation because that terrifies me. Because like back then you didn't have all the extra technology. It was just they had new technology that was thrown at each other, and they were still fighting old school conventional warfare with heavy machine guns, and that's why there's massive amounts of death. Whereas like during modern warfare, the World War II vet said, "I can't do that. That terrifies me because you don't know where your enemy is. In this modern warfare, they're hiding everywhere, and they could at any point shoot you." So, all right, I think we're getting off cars
yeah,
here. I don't
yeah.
want
Hey, we'll do a military channel as well. Yeah.
to. Okay, so what are the plans for the boss other than headers and a tune? I'm not sure yet, Northern. I can't give anything away right now. So I want the headers and tune. I'd love to do. I'd want to do them. I've been looking for a Pernelli Jones cold air intake. It's a really rare piece. I actually had a chance to buy one, but then my dog had cancer and I had to pay for surgery, so kind of let that go. And if the guy still has it, I'll message him and see if I can get it. There's a Kook side pipes that Kook's made just for those. They're super rare. I'd love to get those too. I'd love to go. Eventually, I want to put a Paxton on it, but I owe my wife a new car first, and so if I buy a supercharger before I buy her a new car, I might be sleeping in the car. So probably not smart to do. But I got a couple other reasons that like my my mod list isn't huge right now, and it'll be an upcoming video. I'm excited about it. There's an upcoming video, and I'm gonna post, and everybody should it should be a good one. I don't want to give too much away.
Matt, first priority is you got to take care of your wife.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then everything else follows on. Yeah. Everything
Oh yeah.
else.
We got little man back here. He just loves sitting in these things.
He loves that. He loves that bee.
Say hi. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I want to do a car mob. I definitely want to put a blower on it. My buddy, we were gonna see it. My buddy has an S550 Paxton. He was on my channel before, and I'm sorry, S550. Andy is the newest generation body style of Mustangs, but he had a 2015 supercharged with a Paxton supercharger, and he was on my channel, and it was like a sleeper one because it was super quiet. And he upgraded his supercharger to a bigger blower, and he decided he didn't like it, so he took it all off, and he put on he's putting on twin turbos, I think. Wow. So he's going to have a twin turbocharged Coyote here shortly, and I'm gonna probably have him back on my channel at some point because I think he had started a channel, he wants to start up one again, and so I'm gonna kind of get him on here to help him get a kickstart, and because I mean I'm not huge, but I got more than someone starting, so I don't mind helping people out. And
so Matt, what do the turbos do for the horse? Do they increase the horsepower?
Oh yeah.
By how much? If you're
all depends. It depends on how many pounds of boost you're throwing into the motor. Because what you're doing is you're pressurizing the air that's going into the intake, and so it's gotta. If you match that with the appropriate amount of fuel, then you're creating some serious power there.
So if you were 500 horsepower, for example, and you put a twin turbo on, where would you go in terms of horsepower?
I mean, it depends on what you want. It depends on what you're comfortable with. So like my car, what I've been told is my car could comfortably handle probably it can handle safely up to 750. I know a friend of mine who said his handled up to 800 safely. But I know a lot of people push these cars to 1,000, and I'd be too scared to do that. There is a Whipple boss in my hometown. 2012. He's such a yeah. That's that'll be my excuse. I'll buy it. So I'll buy a supercharger so I can socially distance very quickly. I gotta get the kid. Got to run errands fast for the kids. Get them to school quickly. Yeah. I owe my wife another car before I can do that. I'll do it eventually. And also, I'm gonna do a career transition soon. So I got to be smart with my money. I can't just go out and buy huge things. But yeah, I love that car. It's definitely fun for sure. It's one that's going to be with me forever.
What I like about your channel is it's diverse. And my son had a 2006, just a standard V6 Mustang. I love driving it. Metallic blue, just love the car. And I mean, even the lower horsepower Mustangs, they're just nice drives. Nice to drive. Yeah,
that's why I was actually thinking about excuse me, like a 2011 and up V6 for the Mustangs.
Because 3.7. Yeah, you'll get a nice look, Matt. Even a lower size engine. I mean, what's the lowest size now? 3? Is it 3 liter?
No, they have an EcoBoost. I think it's a 2.3, but I'm not positive. But the V6,
that EcoBoost will have a turbo on, correct? I mean,
yeah, and I think they're up to like 3. Somebody here will fix me. They're like 315 or 320 now. I think for horsepower. I'm not sure.
But I think my son picked up his 2000. I think it was a 2008, 2009. I mean, he picked that up for like 8-9 grand. I mean, it was relatively inexpensive vehicle.
Yeah, I got my first Mustang for a heck of a deal. It was on a Fiat dealership, and this was back in 2012. It was a '05 GT. It had 31,000 miles, and I got it for $13,000 out the door.
Wow. And
Yeah.
how many miles did you put on that?
I didn't put a lot on it before I got it, actually. I think I was up to 58 when I traded it in. I'm actually still tracking it on mycarfax.com.
Right.
It's still in
Right.
my name, so I know where this guy goes and gets service. And so I'm hoping one day down the road, and he's got low miles on it still. I think he's up to it was up to 69 last I saw. And so I'm
Right.
hoping one day I see it for sale and I could buy it back. But I won't, again, the wife has to have a new car first.
That'd be good. Well, can't you get your wife a Mustang, or is that a
Oh,
no
she
go?
does. She is not interested at all. I've believe me, and Karma, I know you're on here. So the videos that really kill on YouTube are the ones where you teach your significant other how to drive stick on your Mustang. And they kill because they're so. First of all, my wife doesn't want to do it. She's scared she's going to break it, and she just doesn't. She's not interested in it. But yeah, she doesn't want to break it, and because I've already told her, I said, don't worry about breaking it. If you break it, I'm just going to upgrade. So. Uh, So yeah, she doesn't want to break it, and she's not really interested in the YouTube thing. But I'd love to teach her on the. Actually, it'd be really easy to learn an MGB. It's almost like a truck like shifter almost. It's very like my dad. I learned on an '87 Toyota pickup, and one of those indestructible trucks, and it was so easy to learn on. MG would be super easy to learn on. They're so torquey down low that she wouldn't even have to give it gas. Just release the clutch a little bit, and she can get going, and she learned that way.
What I like about the stick shift on that transmission is it's straight into first, straight back, and then straight over and straight down. And then I've got the overdrive little toggle, and
Yeah.
it drops the RPM down around 300, 3 to 400 RPM, and it's really nice for cruising.
Yeah.
But as you said, from a drivability perspective, very nice drive.
Yeah, I wish I had overdrive. That's another thing for for this giveaway. I can't help anybody with overdrive because I don't know how to build this. I looked at one and I don't know how to tell my dad how to do that without having one in front of us.
You just have to basically take out the switch and, as I said, put a separate switch on. But
I know some people relocate it to the steering column. I was watching some videos on that.
Correct. I'd rather have it on the front, down by that where you change the gear. I'd rather have it down on the front there than on
Yeah.
the problem with putting it on the stalk, if you haven't already got it on the stalk, I don't want to start messing around in that area with the electrics or
Yeah.
adding. I think it was already an option. Then maybe you put it to there, but it's no problem having a separate switch, and Moss make a separate switch that you put into the dash. In fact, there's an actual gear knob. You can just Google that the gear top, and there's one with a switch on with an LED.
Yeah.
Actually, LED light. You've seen that. But
Yeah. I'm gonna address some of the guys here in the comments because I'm not getting anyone to pop in. Hey Northern, I saw the RTR upgrades. Those are sweet. I know. I remember who's that guy? I kind of stopped watching him because I don't know. He just started to annoy me a little bit. But I think it's Derek Barron. I'm still following him, but I don't watch his videos as much. But I remember he like overpaid for. There's Andy. Sorry, it's kind of ostracize you
no,
here.
I'm listening.
There's the RTR. RTR is it's called Ready to Run, and it's a certain kind of it's a brand for a drifter who specializes in Mustang drifting, basically. And there's some parts released for it. And hey, this is Randy's friend. Can we join the live? I don't know who that is, but you're welcome to. Oh, there's Boss Man. There we go.
And drifting, Matt, for me who's a novice, is basically
my camera's all messed up. What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh.
We're talking about drifting, and RTR upgrades that Northern put on his car.
Oh, okay, cool.
So drifting is just going around in circles basically and firing out the back end, correct?
Yeah, you're kicking out the back end. It's kicking out the back end, sliding the tires around, and there's people that can control it very, very incredibly. It's hard. It's definitely a talent. It's hard to do, and I mean, I want to say it's hard to do, but it's to do it to the extent that these professionals do it is very impressive.
And David has a video about a 15-minute. Have you seen David's video where he was at a place in the UK that does that?
I have not seen that one. I'll have to go back and watch it. I try and keep up, so like whenever I get on YouTube for the day, I'll kind of like open my subscriptions, and if there's a few that I can crank out and watch that are at the top that I've missed, I'll crank them out. I don't get to them all because I follow a lot of car channels, and I just try and see what's there that I've missed. Man, boss man, don't crash, man. My dad wrecked video talking to me on the phone one time.
No, I'm cool, man. That's why I got to looking at me. I'm actually looking out the windshield.
So, boss man, what are you actually driving there? Tell me what you're driving.
I drive a pickup truck right now, but my car is a 12 Boss 302.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
A white and black one.
Yeah, he's got a nice one.
Similar to
It looks like Brailsford's, but just white and black.
Okay.
Yeah. So they made it for 2 years, Andy. There's a 12 and there's a 13. And the reason they did that is because the original Boss, when it came out, it was a 69 and a 70. So they did it for 2 years to kind of as an homage to that. And there's 2 different sticker packages, and they basically gave the 12 the 69 package and the 13 the 70 package. The 13 also I'm gonna add somebody else here. The 13
has the hood vents.
13 has the hood vents, and it also has the track apps. So my car, like the 12, is a lot more raw. The 13 has a lot more creature comforts, and I do wish I had some of that stuff, but I'm okay without it.
Hold on.
All right, MG Kids. I don't know
Hello,
who
can
you
you
are.
see me?
Yeah, what's up?
We are in the. How you doing?
Hey, let's see if we can get the MG in the back.
Oh, cool.
Are you wearing a Carol Shelby shirt?
There
we go.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
How's it
That's
going,
nice.
guys?
So what year is that?
Yeah, here you go. You see,
Oh boy.
can you guys see me? What's going on, guys? Is it dark? Yeah, it's a little bit dark. This is wet. Oh my God. Let's see. Why don't we just
sorry
turn
about
it
that,
around?
guys. Let's see if I can get some light on my face so y'all guys can see me. Man, what's going on?
What year's
Here
your
we go.
car?
Mine is a 78.
Mine is a 77. That's the red one.
I'm Bobby Nelson. I think I talked to you a few times on Facebook, and my brother joins it live, and we comment all the time. We have the white 78, and my name is Bobby, and so it was funny whenever you started your Bobby B project. I said, that's funny. My name is Bobby.
It's after you.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
hey, I'll give you guys. I just kind of showed Andy because he was the first one on. But this is an upcoming episode. I had these custom made for the thing. The same guy. Okay, so the strut covers that I'm giving away for the Mustang folks, the same guy made these for me. So this is kind of more of the quality that the strut covers will come in. But they're
That's awesome.
yeah. But these are custom emblems. I haven't decided where I'm going to put them yet, and that'll be kind of like on my next video that's coming up.
I'm gonna see if I can set it up to where y'all can see the B and get some light. So this one right here, this is Jose's B. I don't know if you want to get in the camera.
Is that a 77?
Yeah.
How long have you had it?
Huh?
How long have you had that car for?
I've had it for how many? For like 5 months already.
Nice.
I found it in a junkyard, and I got it running and going and everything. It took me about 2 months.
Wow. What problems did you have with it?
So it was first that the engine wouldn't start. There was spark in the distributor, but not on the spark plugs. Turns out it was the coil. Then the fuel pump wasn't working. Got a new one. The brakes didn't work because they didn't have any brake lines. Then the clutch didn't work because the slave cylinder was leaking like crazy. It was terrible. But after that, I got it running. And then I got it running the first day. It runs so beautiful, but then that same night, all the valves started sticking, so I had to remove the head and send it to the machine shop because the intake valves, they were stuck for real. You can hammer the thing for the whole afternoon, it would not come off.
Wow. Okay.
So it's fully drivable.
We spray painted this thing.
Yeah, nice. It's fully drivable. I mean, it's running well now, correct?
It's my daily driver. I take it to school. I don't work anymore, but I just take it to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anywhere I want to go, I go on this thing.
Where are you guys out of?
We are in Houston, Texas.
Nice.
Okay.
We're in the what's the name? The outskirts of Houston, like around Spring.
Okay.
I know what Spring is. Yeah. You buy ExxonMobil, correct?
Yes, sir.
I've been to ExxonMobil a few times. It's a great complex.
Oh yeah, they've been doing a lot of building here all around the Houston area, and it's brought us a lot of a lot of good resources here in town. And,
It's
I'll be right back.
You employ.
I'm trying to make sure we got light on.
Hey, so you employ a lot of people up there. I usually fly into Hobby and then drive up. I think it's 45. Drive up 45.
Yes, sir. That's it. Yes, sir. I drive on 45 every single day.
So I'm out of Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm in Phoenix,
Yes,
Arizona.
Arizona.
You sound British though.
I'm actually from Birmingham, UK, and I know a fair bit. You know, electrically, my father used to work for Lucas, so the alternator, starter motor.
So we can blame him.
Yeah, you can blame my dad, but I was telling Matt on a previous channel, I was never sure when I was younger, and I had a lot of the B's. I never had a B until I got into the States. Okay. But that same engine, I had it in 4 cars in the UK, and my father used to get me a starter and alternator. That was no problem because, he was sort of building them. But it's a great engine. That B engine is really good engine in there, yeah?
They're wonderful. Yes, sir.
So you have a 79?
I have a 78 here. Do you care if I have it on the phone, so I should be able to take you guys over there. Let's see. So,
Boss man, you got a big finger.
let's see. Hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't cut out. I think we should be all right.
Hey, so while we're walking over there, so here's a gosh bless, man.
Oh, nice. Hey, that's like the Bobby B. Matt, that's like your white one.
Yeah, so that one looks like it might be in a little better shape. I can't tell.
Yeah. So this car right here, the original owner is my uncle, and they've had it since brand spanking new. They bought it from the dealership, and he learned to drive in this car. He took his first driver's test, and he took it to college with him, and he's had it ever since. And
what's the mileage on that?
The mileage on the car, as you know, since it's 78, it was an AC car, and it had all the smog emissions and everything. And so he told me that it has probably like 110,000 miles or so, but they went through about five engines, so you can do the math, and that's
Right.
So but between cylinder heads cracking, and there were young kids learning to drive, trying to drive it like a race car, and he told me stories about they would try to jump the railroads in it, and they would do all kinds of stuff. But in the 90s, he went ahead and got an overdrive transmission. Well, he took the whole car down to the frame, and he repainted it, and he got a 71 18V block, and he poured a 20 over, and just went stock hits, cam, just all new internals that he could, just to make it a good drivable car, small gate, no AC, and he tried to keep the look as stock as possible.
It's
You guys-
nice. It's really
is your-
nice when you know the history of the vehicle. It's really nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. So the next episode I'm posting is the story of my car and like how I got it. I don't know the full backstory. I could probably reach out. I know the original owner, and I could probably get its full history. I do know I'm not on the first motor. It's on there's a gold seal in there, replacement, and
Oh yeah.
I just hit according to the odometer, I hit 10,000. So I imagine that's 110,000. But I'm not sure. But it's still running good. I took it around the block the other day when it was warm enough.
Hey Matt, show us the giveaway again, because I know you had that.
Can I turn my
Yeah,
camera around?
So for the MG folks, I'm kind of giving one of these guys away. I'm gonna make one with my dad. I'm gonna wait to find out who wins and what year car they have, so that way I do the right thread pattern. For the overdrive folks, so I can't make overdrive. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to do a switch. I can just make a standard ball, but they come out real nice. They're all custom because they're a piece of burl, and so they all look different.
And they're pressure popped. They're pressure pot epoxy. It's on your dad's channel, correct? Pretty cool.
Yeah. So we put the epoxy in. So this one's not polished up yet. If I were to like put a coat of poly over it, it'd be super nice. It still is super nice, but it really pops when you give it a coat of poly.
No, hey, Bobby, I really like that MG. It's nice car, very nice.
Yeah. So Northern says Cyclone swap MG. Northern says Cyclone swap the MG or Bear swap. So the plan is to eventually possibly do a Cyclone swap, but what's more likely is probably put a 302 in it because there's already a kit for it.
The only thing is with that, Matt, and I'm no expert. You've really got to look at the upgrade of the suspension braking system on that. I mean, you put that size engine in, you've really got to look at the other pieces of the vehicle as well.
Well, I probably put a brake booster in, and then suspension should be good. Oh, those kids cut out. Oh. So, boss man, what's going on with your car, man?
Oh, not much, man.
The restroom.
I'm just it's in the garage for the winter.
Oh yeah, where are you at?
I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, really? Where?
Hartford area.
Okay, so I was from my family. We moved from Enfield, and I've got family in Southington and a lot of family in South Windsor.
I just left South Windsor about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I got half my family's in Southington, half's in South Windsor.
Hey, Car Mob, take it easy. Yeah.
Later, Car Mob.
Hey, but speaking about, you were talking about the rare, when you went to buy a car, you were going to get a GT500 and you saw the Boss was rare. That's why I got mine.
That's why, that's literally the only
rare car. It's a more rare car than a Shelby. And I don't get me wrong, I love Shelbys, but I like the rarity of the car more than a Shelby.
Well, I'm hoping to hold on to mine long enough to where I'll be able to get a Shelby in tandem with. But
there you go. There you go. That's what I want to do.
I'm still pretty young, so I think I'm all right. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
there you go. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about. I got a little bit of time here before I got to go do something else. I'm thinking about. There's a dealership about 5 minutes away from me that's got a GT500 in their showroom. They just picked up an all black one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about see if they'll let me do a video real quick on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah, you're right. I plan on keeping my car forever, unless for some crazy reason something comes on the market that I feel like I gotta have, and I can't, and I have to get rid of the boss in order to get it. I'm keeping the boss until the day I pass on, or I will it away to somebody.
Well, I can't get rid of the boss. I've got too many
Oh,
sentimental value videos. There's too much sentimental time with it with my kids. I mean,
oh yeah, you got the kids already, man. You got the electric cars already, man.
Yeah. So that's a permanent, like, it can't go anywhere. Matter of fact, the day I bought the MGB, I sold my weight set to buy it, and I just bought the boss probably about a month before. And my wife tricked my oldest at the time was 3 years old, and she told him, like, he was asking my wife, she's like, "Where's Daddy going?" He's like, "Oh, he's going," and she's like, "Oh, he's going to sell the boss," and he just goes, "No!" And he comes like running into the garage, and he just points at this random dude he didn't know. He points at the guy and goes, "Daddy, don't let that man take your Mustang." And I was like, yeah, it was funny. I can't get rid of it.
Right. You were talking about the exhaust, man. Yeah, you're right. Cooks makes the aftermarket side pipe for the car.
Yeah, but they're hard to find, and that's why I did that. I don't know if you've seen my video on the cheap mod.
You can't buy them brand new.
No, not anymore. You might, if you can.
Yeah.
There used to be a link that was going around about a year ago, but they sold out, and now they're very hard to find. There is a mod you can do that I did a video on. I don't know if you've seen it, where you chop out the resonator.
Oh, actually, let me set it to the.
You chop this guy out.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, man. You chop this guy out, boss man, and you basically bought yourself a cheap set of kooks, because this is the only difference. Is this?
Oh, all right. I could have sworn I was looking online about a month ago, and I could have bought them.
Well, if you can, good on you, man. Maybe I'll have to look, but I was also worried about scraping a little bit. I'm not sure, because they do stick down a lot.
Really?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you.
Oh God, these goddamn this freaking cameras, they don't.
You're just so we're gonna adjust the valves or attempt to.
Oh.
All right. But yeah, so
can y'all see that right?
Boss man,
can you see?
Yeah, man, we can see. Boss man, I'll have to take a look, see if kooks are out there. 'Cause I mean, I'd love a set, but then again, I also get worried. Like, I'm not gonna get myself much different sound, because I've already done this.
Right.
And the other thing is, I might want to wait until I know where I'm going to be living, because I'd hate to buy something that sticks down and I rip it off my car.
Yeah. If they hang lower, then I'm not going to buy them. I thought they were bigger. I thought they were like a full 3-inch bigger exhaust pipe to go onto the 3-inch.
They hang lower.
I saw what is it? A video from American Muscle. American Muscle put a video on how to install them, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw them at.
Well, the tips are like this big, and they open up, and they look like old school NASCAR exhaust dumping down below the door.
Yeah.
But whereas ours are kind of tucked up and then they turn down, these just kind of stick below the actual splash guard, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They stick down so that you can see it. It's visual and it looks cool, but it sticks down. So I've actually scraped my stock pipe on a speed bump before.
I have
by going a little too fast, and just knowing that I can do that, I'd definitely rip off the Kooks exhaust.
The easier ones.
Well, if that's the case, yeah. Well, then it's not worth the $300 then. If that's the case.
If it's only $300, I'd buy it. I've seen them.
I think I saw it for like $350. I thought I could be totally wrong.
I just bought a mid pipe, a spare mid pipe, for $40 in my area.
There you go.
Those are super expensive.
Well, if I find it or get one or find one for sale, I'll let you know.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
All right. I gotta jump off here. I gotta do some errands, but I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, guys.
Hey, man. Thanks for coming in.
Yep. See ya.
What are you guys doing? You're adjusting the valves?
Yep.
Yeah, it's knocking like crazy.
We Just a simple fix, but something you got to do. Want to see what
I had when I bought my car before I started it, I did a valve adjustment, and one of the valves I couldn't adjust just right. And I found out that when the previous owner changed out the rods, there was the lifter got stuck to the bottom of one of the rods, and it came out of its slot, and it was sitting inside the tappet inspection cover. And so my rod was sitting on top of the camshaft. So it's a good thing I didn't start it because I would have mangled my camshaft. And so I ended up taking off the tappet inspection covers and making sure that they were in the slots. And that saved me. I would have had no motor; it would have been gone.
Yeah. So whenever I changed my head gasket recently on my 78, and whenever I pulled the push rods out, it had a little bit of a suction to the lifters, and you could hear the lifter pull out a little bit and then fall back in. And I put it back together. I should have pulled the tappet cover off and checked, but I mean I put a lot of miles off on it since then, so I don't think I had an issue. I readjusted the valves. It's probably been 500 miles since then, so I'm gonna readjust them. And but definitely something in the future. I'll be very careful when I'm doing the head gasket or.
Oh, I wasn't critiquing you, man. Don't think that.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah, Bobby, holy crap, dude. You gotta be more nice. Sorry about that.
Hey, so question for you on the rocker cover.
That's good.
You know when you put the rocker cover back on, do you use a silicone gasket or a cork gasket?
I used a cork because I had to replace it.
Well, so for me,
the reason for my question, guys, is I don't know what's better, a cork or silicone. So that was the reason for the question.
I haven't used the silicone ones yet, but I do know that they have them. So that's something that I am looking at getting. I want to go through the whole engine and replace all the gaskets to the highest quality that I can. But what I found is that if you get a brand new cork gasket and you clean the oil off perfectly and you get it torqued down good, and once the motor comes up to temp, it kind of sticks the cork to the surfaces and creates a good seal. But it's still, I don't think it's a very good. I don't think it's a very good gasket. The cork tends to still leak, and I think if you set it right and you don't mess with it, it'll not leak. But the cork gaskets have all leaked on mine so far. So
the other problem is the design's not that good because you've just got the two locking nuts at the top, which screw down.
Yeah.
So it's almost, if you over torque one of the ends, you'll get a slight lift in the middle, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely. I think my valve cover there. I think that my valve cover is probably warped from over time, just since it's such a thin metal, and I think it's probably a very common thing. They have the aluminum valve covers, and I've been looking at those, but none of them are really a great design. A lot of guys say that if you do a good job with the silicone and stuff like that, then you got to clean it up when you take it off again. And like the black silicone, use the black silicone, and oh man, that black silicone, when it dries up and you're trying to clean up the valve cover, it makes it not a very easy job. That's for sure.
And again, I think it comes down to the adhesive that you use with that silicone. You've got to have something that's compatible with the chemistry of that seal.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so David's trying to pop in. So we got.
Okay.
I don't know if you MG kids. That's all I know your name says. So I don't know if you know who he is. He's a racing MG driver.
Yep. I think has he been on the live before? I think that I've watched a few of his videos.
Yeah, that's David. Yeah.
There you go.
I think they said that David was joined.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, David. Heck yeah.
David who?
The dude who I don't know if you watched his videos. He does the MG videos. He's like he wears the apron or the like kind of like the lab coat. He's British.
He's British?
I think he's gonna join, right? Is that the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's getting set up. I'm just not gonna turn his camera on until his headphones are on.
Okay. I think you'll know. I think you'll know.
Dave, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, man.
Yeah, I'm David's manager, so you got to be good to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be very courteous to him because I'm his manager. No, I'm joking.
Good, David. You ready? Let's wait for. All right. Well,
Can he hear you?
he's there.
There it goes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he wasn't ready.
Yeah,
That was my fault.
Okay, cool.
Hey, David. Happy New Year to you.
Because of the exhaust is opening.
No, that's easier.
I jumped the gun there. I got him set up too soon.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look.
You're muted right now.
Like right before that.
No one's open. Hold on.
Yeah, you should be on the right spot. You're going. The piston coming back down. And take over.
There we go.
There we go.
Let me get
Okay. I'm all there. How are we doing?
Hey, David. Happy New Year.
You all as well.
Oh, no. It's in.
fully close. Then it's
Oh yeah. I can hear you.
on this engine.
Very well.
So David, we got
Do you
some
have a
guys, some really cool kids, the MG kids, and they're out in Houston, right?
Mhm.
I know exactly where they are. They're in the Spring area, which is a borough of Houston. It's on the northern side of Houston, and they have two really nice MGs. The one you're looking at, the red one, is
No,
a
actually-
77.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
this is not a late.
The guy who's looking into the camera, is that Bobby?
Yes, sir. That's me.
He's got a 79, correct? A really nice white
it's a
79
78.
MG. 78, okay.
Yes, sir.
So they're rubber bumper, but yeah, they're just doing they're doing a valve adjustment.
Oh, yes.
On the engine.
We have a cars and coffee to go to in the morning, so they're a little bit ticky. So we thought we might as well get together and take care of it while we can. It's such.
I got a question. I got a question for you guys. So how did you guys all find each other? All of you, are you related?
So you probably haven't seen yet, but the other guy over here, that's Randy, and me and Randy are twin brothers. We're identical twins, and our uncle had an MG, and I never really saw it growing up. My dad, his first car was a Jaguar E-Type, and so as a kid, all hearing about Jaguar E-Types, MG wasn't, very, to my dad, he had the E-Type, so the MG wasn't, very big to him. So we didn't talk about it, see it very, very much. But my uncle did have it, and it was always in storage, and I heard about it every now and then. But when we were getting old enough, it was just sitting around, and they were moving, and he decided that he was going to gift it to me and my brother, but we had to do all the work on it. And we restore vintage motorcycles. We're mechanics, and we build everything from motorized bicycles to dirt bikes, four-wheelers, I mean, anything you could think of. And so the MG was just the next step. And he had built the car, and it was in really good shape, but it had been sitting outside for a very long time. So everything that could go bad, any hydraulic seals, stuff like that, just needed to be attended to. And so everything from the gas tank, the fuel lines, fuel pump, all the way up to the carburetors. We eventually had to replace the head gasket, but the motor is very low miles since he rebuilt it. He said it only had a few thousand miles, but it had just been 15, 20 years, and so basically we just
So Bobby, question for you: how
Yes,
did you
sir.
learn about a British car? Being brought up in the States. How did you learn about it?
So just the same thing with putting the engines on the bicycles, or building the dirt bikes and stuff like that. We live in 2020, and so we had the advantage of the internet. And I've always been very mechanically inclined, and I've always wanted to learn about different engine designs and different types of engines and just stuff like that. And so the MG, I knew a lot about motors and stuff like that before I got the MG. I understood ignition, carburation, just as a system as a whole. So as you guys probably know, the MG is pretty simple.
Mhm.
And the way that they built them back in the day, you were able to do basically anything, even pull the motor out in the driveway. If you're going to be a long-term MG owner, either you had to find a guy, or you had to learn how to replace the clutches every now and then, because you were going to be replacing them, stuff like that. So basically, it's just something that we love to do. I put a lot more hours working on bikes and stuff like that than I do riding them. So it's just something that we love to do, and especially having an MG. I always wanted E-Type and stuff like that, but that's not really a realistic goal as an 18-year-old.
It's money at the moment, that's for certain.
Bobby, that's a real upgrade from where we are at the moment. Yeah, my aspiration isn't it, but I'm never going to get. I'm going to die before I get to the E-Type. So I got to focus my time on my MGB.
Yeah, I mean, I think the MGs are the perfect classic cars. It's the two-seater open top. It's got a very simple engine design, and people always ask me, "Oh, can you get parts?" I can get anything I need, up to a whole entire body for the car. It's not going to be cheap, but you can still get it. And I mean, I can go to the O'Reilly's or any auto parts store right here. That's what we have in town, and I can pick up a head gasket set or a thermostat, or basically any regular thing that you would need for the car. Fuses. I mean, we do a lot of work to our cars, and so we make sure. I mean, I drive my car every single day. It's our first car, and me and my brother's first car, and so we've done all the work to get it onto the road. And
Good for you guys.
Yeah, keeping it on the road, that's the big thing. Just you got, every time you take it out, you got to check the tires and check all the different fluids, and just driving down the street and having little kids pointing at you. And for a while there, we had a straight pipe on the MG, and it was a fresh rebuilt motor, and so we'd be at the car meets, rev bombing people. And the MGs definitely have a unique sound to them, and so we had a lot of fun. Now we got a muffler back on it, and a lot more streetable. It's still a stock engine, but definitely, we've had our fun with it. I do burnouts and stuff like that, and but it's it's an MG, so as long as we watch what we're doing, replace the fluids, and do the right thing, I think that it's a machine. It's made to be used, so that's what we do. We use it.
So, Bobby, do you watch David's videos?
Yeah, yes, I do. I've watched. I've watched quite a few of David's videos.
That's great to hear. I'm glad you enjoy them.
So,
yeah,
David, you can see this is what I was doing at the weekend.
That was very much like a track rod end.
Yeah. So, David, what you didn't explain on your video was you got to make sure that tool is set correctly, because I've damaged the thread. I actually damaged the thread on the, using the tool, and that was my fault.
You damaged it when you used to separate.
Yeah, when I separated it, David, I didn't have the end of it. Guys,
I can't hear anything at the moment.
Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all guys can see that.
Can you mute the cameraman? They were talking.
Guys, can you mute the mic while I have a conversation with David?
I can't hear you very well. It sounds good.
That's right. Come on, Britain. I just like them because they're British. I'm British, and British is best. That's it. I don't break like them Fords or Chevy.
I don't know if y'all can see that.
That's 100% untrue. My car breaks down plenty.
You said 100% not true.
Sorry,
I mean, they're 40 years old. This car is older than me, or my sister, not my mom.
What?
So I say we should all three of us sit down and have a chat with the family.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can sit down with him.
Hey guys, so my dad's actually he's in here listening, but he's gonna be the one who's turning the shift knobs. If anybody's interested in anything woodworking, check out his channel.
Sorry, Andy. How did you
Let's go sit over
damage the
there.
thread?
What's up?
How would you damage the thread on the track rod end?
So, David, when I put the the piece on, because I got it. Hold on. So, Dave, when I wound so that's the tool you use to break the. When I wound it up, I didn't get it on the center of the thread.
Ah, and it's come up the side, has it?
Correct. So it caught the side, and what it's done is, what it did was it stripped the bottom of the thread, and I couldn't get the nut on. So, David, what I've done is,
You want to sit in here, Randy? There's a chair for you. Okay. Bro.
And I put the old one.
You want to sit here? Yeah, I sit here.
Hey guys, can you mute for a second?
This was the old one, Dave.
Yeah.
The other one, David, was perfectly fine. So what I've done is I've put the old one on the driver's side, put the new one on the other side. The beauty is I've redone those boots and I've re-lubricated. So you know that video you've got lubrication, yeah. So I've done all that. I've done all that, Dave, and I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable when I get my new track rod ends to get them done, but I can't do the alignment myself.
Yeah, you do need a gauge to do the alignment. Unfortunately, you can try and do it with string, but it's
no. Dave, you're right. You are 100% correct in your recommendation. There are certain things on these cars you've got to get done by an expert.
Equipment to do it.
Yeah, and from a safety perspective, you know, I'm a novice and I'm just trying to work with my bee, and you know, I mean, you need to make sure these things are safe.
I think it's also you'll get uneven tire wear and
they're not.
Yeah,
they're not. Even when they were brand new, they weren't. Oh yeah.
I'm listening to the conversation.
Even when they were brand new, they were not safe.
No, I mean, and you're right. Bobby makes a great comment on the 77 that these cars are pretty simple. And what I like about Bobby's bids on that white MGB is he's starting virtually ground up on that MGB. I mean, he's bought that for very minimal money, and he's trying to get that thing up to where we are on the cars, yeah. And hey Bob, you've got a daily driver in that red 77. You've got a daily driver there. I don't drive mine daily, and David races his car.
Doesn't do that many miles.
I could drive mine daily. I just don't know how long it'll last.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you have a solid setup, you know, if you've gone through the systems and, you know, it's not worn out. I mean, even Jose's, for example, his was basically, you know, not to say anything, but just saying, you know, it's kind of a junkyard car. He bought it for $700, and somebody had painted with wall paint, and they said that it had a good motor. You know, that's as far as you know, as he knew. And but he did get a title on it, and you know, he can say what he done to it, but I mean, he, you know, it's come a long way, and definitely just little by little, stretching his legs out, you know, learning what it likes, you know, figuring out the systems a little bit. Still has a little ways to go, both of our cars, but definitely, you know, we don't want to blow them up, but we definitely drive them as much as possible, but still, just being, you know, because I have overdrive and he doesn't, and so he's taken, now that I've got him.
I'm a real man.
Yeah, I've taken mine on the highway. I mean, I've got it up to 90, no problem.
Well, not 90.
But I've been telling him, you know, these cars were a little high revving engines, and if they're, you know, if you got pretty good oil pressure and you know you got, you know, the engine set up correctly, you know, you should be able to drive it in the higher revs. And he called me and said, "Oh, I took it on the highway and I had it to 5,500 RPM. I was doing 85. It was smooth." And
I'm not 500, 45.
Oh, 45?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would have blown the engine if I was.
I thought you took 55, but either way, he said, "Oh, I revved it out, and you know, he's doing 85." And I mean, that's what these cars are built to do.
Oh yeah.
And
So, Bobby,
I had the overdrive.
let's ask the expert racer what should be the correct
I'll be back.
RPM for our 77, 79 MGs. I mean,
Your red line.
yeah, well, Dave, I'm saying a nice cruising RPM for our MGs.
I thought about 5,000 at the most.
All right. I
If
mean,
you-
I would
Yeah,
never
I
go
mean-
that high.
Sorry.
Dave,
Yeah,
I won't run mine above 4.
I see. Well, I red line mine at 7.2.
I know, but yours is a fully board racer.
Oh yeah, 72. Oh yeah. So me and my brother went on a drive recently to a they had like a vintage car event, and we drove with a lot of other MGBs, and a guy with a took the front of the pack. He had the 1600 motor.
So we lose your. We lose
Just
your.
a 4-speed, no overdrive, and or 4-speed. I think that the phone is dying.
I think you lose your audio.
Plug the phone in. Let's see.
Damn it!
You good? You got 2.
Just quickly, Andy. I think.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Cruise 5 all day long.
Okay. I mean,
Red line, I think, isn't it on the original?
So you're saying at 5,000
Can you hear me?
RPM, if you do that for an hour, that would be
Yep.
no.
I don't think you're going to be doing it any harm.
No. So basically, can y'all hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
you're fine now, Bob.
You
You're
guys hear
back on. We got you back in.
Awesome. Basically, I was trying to say one of the guys who came with us had an MGA, and we were driving 3-4 hours across Texas, and basically he had no overdrive and the 1600 motor. And I was asking him because I could obviously, you could tell he was driving pretty high RPM because I had the overdrive and we were probably doing 70 or more. And I asked him when we got there, he said, "Oh yeah, I was probably running 5 or more the whole time, 5,000 or more."
I suppose the trouble you have in the USA we don't have here is our roads aren't long enough, and so you could never sort of drive 5,000 RPM in the UK for more than
Oh yeah.
something you have. Whereas I know you guys have got big roads, but it's not hard to say. I mean, I had an MGB 71. I daily drive. I had a daily drive for 10 years, but that I was a young man at the time. I used to push it along a bit because that's kind of the car it was, and track days and that sort of thing. But I thought between 4,000 and 5,000, I couldn't really see you doing any harm. Obviously, you need to check your temperatures and that kind of thing, but it's well within its capabilities, I'd have thought.
And Dave, and the oil pressure as well, as long as you're checking.
Yes, but
oil pressure and water temperature.
Yeah.
See, I drive mine. I like to try and keep, just for now, since mine have been parked for 32 years, I try and keep mine between. I think the most I'll cruise to is about 35, and that keeps me probably about, I don't know, 60 something, about 65 miles an hour.
Yeah,
and it's fairly safe, and where I'm living, it's like perfect. I would like if I wanted to go visit my dad, he's 2 hours north of me. I'd have to get on the interstate, and I'd be terrified. I'd be petrified to get killed.
I think when these cars were built, roads were slower. The M1 I think had just been built in 1960, motorway in the UK, and so traffic was everything was a different speed. And I think a 2-hour journey in the UK is almost unheard of because we're not, everything's a lot closer. I think they do suffer in town as well if you're driving around town because again traffic jams weren't a thing back in the 60s and 70s. Well, certainly not so much. I think so. As Bobby says, if your oil's good, your water's good, you should be you should be absolutely fine.
I mean,
David, the maximum speed on the M25 now is 20 mile an hour.
On a good day. It's just a mobile traffic jam. That's what motorway is. It's a ring road around London, which is just solid.
Yeah, I mean these little engines are very stout. I mean, of course, you know, if you only drive it on Sundays and you know you haven't just put a head gasket and gone through, you know, if you don't know the history of the motor, I definitely wouldn't be trying to test it. But I mean, my uncle, he built the engine and he went through everything. He bought new stock cam, stock head, got the crank reground, the bores redone, and I mean, I drive the car. We drive it pretty.
I think it's better to drive than not. That's for certain. You know, they prefer to be driven and sat for 6 months, then turned over and go out. They'd sooner do a little bit every week rather than not. Certainly.
Hey guys, I just got to throw this out real quick. I can stay on for another about 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to end this.
Okay,
that's fine. Matt, that's fine with me. I've been on the duration, so. Hey, David, if you want to see my car, I'm not going to bore you to tears, but watch the start of the vid because I show Matt my car. You
can go back out there. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, because I thought, well, Matt thinks I haven't shown him my MGB, and at the start of the video, guys, you'll see my MGB.
I don't doubt you. I wasn't doubting you at all.
I just wanted to prove I had one.
Got one.
Yeah. Well, it's so weird. So this has been a very interesting little video live stream that I've done because it was the first time I've really tried hard to mesh my two cars. And I think it went pretty well. We had a bunch of Mustang guys in here for a while, and then they all petered out at the end there. But it's so interesting, the two different like driving styles of my two cars. I mean, my Mustang, I could be doing 90 miles an hour and not feel like I'm moving at all. But then I get in the MG, I'll be doing like 60 and I feel like I'm flying. It's ridiculous.
They definitely feel the speed you're doing. That's for certain.
Oh yeah.
So David, have you got any races coming up in the next?
We're out on the 20th of March, and so I've got about 2 and a bit months. I've got to get the engine out and sort that out. I've got suspension bits to do, new brakes to do. So I'm going to have a busy couple of months trying to get all that done. It should be fine. What is it? 8 weekends, which is probably just about enough to get it all done.
And where are you racing at?
Silverstone National, which is the slightly to Silverstone Circuit on the 20th of March. There's a test day on the 4th of March, but I don't think I'll be ready for that. I'm not too bothered to give that a skip.
If I can find out what they they're talking about the autocross dates near me. If I can find out what they inspect for and I can verify that I'm not going to fail as soon as I show up, I'm probably going to I'll take the B out there for a little bit, but if it doesn't work out, then I'm going to have my Mustang out there.
Yeah.
So
disappointing when you turn up for your first race weekend and get told you're not going on that track. Which isn't good.
So David, that racetrack you've just mentioned, just for the other two guys, that's where the Formula One race.
It is. It's basically it's half of Silverstone. So we do what was the original pit straight, Cops Corner, Maggots Beckett's, and then you go back. You sort of cut the circuit in half. In June, July, we're doing the full Silverstone circuit, which is good, but it's a long circuit for an MGB. Fine for the F1 car, but we're talking about a 2-minute 50 lap, which for us is quite a long lap.
Yeah,
but it's still good fun.
Well, your videos are awesome. I love watching your racing videos.
Hey, Dave. So I was explaining. What was really interesting was I picked up on one of your videos. You know, you went up to Birmingham Wheels, yeah?
Oh, the drift day, yes. This is going back a few years, that is, yeah.
Dave, so do you know, I mean, it's a hell of a small world here. My first stock car race, I went to the day that race, Birmingham Wheels opened. And I went up there with my brother-in-law, and they had young kids racing mini stocks.
Oh, yeah.
All up to full, crash your car and smash it to bits sort of thing. Yeah, guys. The big stock cars, and it was awesome place.
Yeah, no, we got there. It was like an experience day where I think you paid something like £50 and you got to do 2 sessions in a drift car. Basically, I wasn't particularly good at it, I've got to say, but there we go.
Dave, I think you held your own, but there were a couple of other really good guys.
I think there were some proper people doing it. That's for certain. My natural instinct is when it starts going the wrong way, is to try and correct it. But in a drift, you've got to kind of let go of the wheel, which is kind of not what you expect to do.
The really cool thing about that racetrack, you know, Dave, it was set up to take young kids, young offenders off the street, you know, and put them into cars and get them into cars, and really cool setup.
There's a couple places in America that do that too. I know, like in a couple of towns, the sheriff's department will sponsor a keep it on the track and off the streets day.
Yeah,
and they'll rent out a drag strip for the kids to run down. And I think I personally, so like that's kind of like my plan with my son.
Yeah.
So like when he gets old enough to drive, I'm gonna take him autocrossing with me, and that's gonna be a reward. You stick no tickets, good grades, no trouble. You're gonna come racing with Dad. Otherwise, you're just gonna sit there and watch me and not have as much fun.
I think it's a really good idea because it takes it out of you. It kind of takes that desire out of you on the road to drive fast. Because once you've driven on a circuit, going fast on the road, there's nothing. You know, it's nowhere near the same. And so you think I'll save it for the next race, basically. You know, I'll keep the car safe, and because I think as a young guy, it's kind of what you do. You know, you want to go out racing and do that kind of thing, and it's not really surprising that it happens on the road. But I think if you get more track, hopefully it might. Might take that desire away a little bit, but there we go.
And that's why I love having the MG, because it teaches you that to have fun in a car, that you don't need to go 150 or 200 miles an hour or have 1,000 horsepower, because that's not the beauty of the drive. When you feel like you're on the road, it's almost as if I'm riding one of my motorcycles.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. It's very direct kind of feedback I think you get for the car. Whereas on stuff as Matt says, you could be doing 90 miles an hour, and it doesn't feel like anything. Whereas you take the MGB out on a small road, and it feels fast, no doubt about it.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to cut this off. I actually have to end this here, almost in about a minute.
Okay.
Well, it's nice meeting you guys. Definitely.
Meet you, Bobby, as well. Hopefully, we'll see you at the next chat.
Oh yes, sir. I've been meaning to join one of these days, but it's just been timing.
I got to get better about like pre-scheduling it, because I think the turnout's always better when it's pre-scheduled. Sometimes I've just felt a little frosty. I'm just going to jump on, but those don't ever work out very well. So I'm going to try and keep it planned out in advance, and I'll coordinate with David and some of the other YouTubers to try and get on here too.
Definitely.
Hey Matt, thanks for setting it up. David, Happy New Year to you, and Bobby's and your MGs. Enjoy your MGs. Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah, man. Nice meeting you guys. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, we'll see you all soon.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Happy New Year.